Love versus lust. Can you really tell the difference? Welcome back to Strong Male Figure. Today, we're tackling one of the most confusing aspects of relationships that men struggle with, distinguishing between love and lust. These powerful forces often get tangled together, leaving many of us wondering if what we're feeling is the real thing or just powerful physical attraction. Understanding this distinction isn't just philosophical. It directly impacts the quality of our relationships, our decision-making, and ultimately, our fulfillment as men. By the end of this video, you'll have practical tools to recognize the difference in your own life. The biological reality. Let's start with what's happening in our bodies and brains. Both love and lust trigger powerful chemical reactions. Lust is primarily driven by testosterone and estrogen, creating that intense physical desire. It floods your system with dopamine, the same reward chemical released during other pleasurable activities. This creates that feeling of excitement and craving that can be all-consuming. Love, particularly in its mature form, involves oxytocin and vasopressin, bonding hormones that create feelings of attachment, trust, and security. These chemicals actually activate different brain regions than pure lust. This biological distinction is important because it helps explain why these feelings can seem so similar yet lead to completely different outcomes. One viewer described it perfectly. Lust had me checking my phone every minute hoping for a text. Love had me completely comfortable with silence because I knew she'd be there. The timeline test. One of the most reliable ways to distinguish between love and lust is how they evolve over time. Lust typically burns hot and fast. It's intense at the beginning but tends to fade when faced with obstacles or the simple passage of time. It's focused on the present moment and immediate gratification. Love tends to deepen and strengthen over time. It may not have the same overwhelming intensity at first, but it grows more complex and multifaceted as you get to know someone. Love withstands challenges and often emerges stronger after difficulties. Ask yourself, can I imagine this person in my life 5 years from now? Would I still value their presence even if the physical elements were temporarily removed from the equation? Focus, is it person-specific or interchangeable? Another crucial distinction. Lust is often interchangeable. When you're experiencing pure lust, the specific identity of the person matters less than their ability to fulfill certain desires or fantasies. Be honest with yourself. If you could substitute another attractive person and feel essentially the same way, you're likely dealing with lust. Love is person-specific. When you love someone no one else would quite do, you value their unique qualities, perspectives, flaws, and all. You're drawn to who they are, not just how they make you feel. One 28-year-old follower shared, "I realized it was love when I found myself genuinely interested in her stories about her day at work, stories that would have bored me to tears coming from anyone else." What you value about them. Pay attention to what you appreciate about the person. Lust focuses primarily on physical attributes and the pleasurable experiences you share. Conversations about the person often revolve around their appearance or sexual compatibility. Love encompasses a more complete appreciation of someone's character, values, intellect, humor, quirks, and dreams. You value how they think, how they treat others, their passions and principles. Here's a revealing question. If they had an accident that changed their appearance, would your feelings fundamentally change? How you behave when no one's watching your private behaviors and thoughts reveal a lot. Lust often involves idealization and fantasy. You might focus on the image of the person rather than who they really are. You're less interested in their problems or challenges. Love involves seeing someone clearly, flaws and all, and choosing them anyway. You consider their needs and well-being even when it doesn't directly benefit you. The inconvenience test. This is perhaps the most revealing test of all. Lust seeks convenience and tends to evaporate when things get difficult or require sacrifice. When someone is primarily driven by lust, they typically avoid situations that don't provide immediate gratification. Love is willing to endure inconvenience, discomfort, and even pain for the other person's well-being. Love shows up when it's difficult, not just when it's easy and pleasurable. Ask yourself, would I drive across town at 2 a.m. to pick them up if their car broke down? Would I hold their hair back when they're sick? Would I sit in a hospital waiting room all night if they needed me there? The conflict indicator. How you handle disagreements is extremely telling. Lust often can't survive serious conflict. When the harmony is broken by real-life disagreements, purely physical attraction tends to fade quickly. There's little motivation to work through difficulties. Love is committed to resolution and growth through conflict. You care enough about the relationship to have tough conversations, make compromises, and work toward understanding. When your social circles meet your desire to integrate someone into your broader life, is another clear sign. Lust typically exists in isolation. You're focused on one-on-one time, often in private settings. There's little desire to introduce this person to friends, family, or colleagues. Love naturally expands to include your larger world. You want the important people in your life to know and appreciate this person. You're proud to be associated with them publicly and see them as a potential part of your future. The growth factor. Pay attention to how the relationship affects your development as a person. Lust is primarily concerned with satisfaction rather than growth. It rarely challenges you to become a better version of yourself. Love inspires growth and development. It might challenge your perspectives, encourage you to work on your flaws, or support you in pursuing your goals. True love often makes you want to be worthy of the other person. As one viewer commented, "With lust, I tried to seem perfect. With love, I found the courage to be honest about my struggles because I knew she wasn't going anywhere." The confusion zone. Why it's hard to tell. Here's why this distinction can be so difficult. 1. They're not mutually exclusive. Healthy romantic relationships usually contain elements of both love and lust. Physical attraction is a normal and healthy part of romantic love. 2nd, lust can be the starting point for love. Many lasting relationships begin with physical attraction that gradually develops into something deeper. 3. Cultural messaging is confusing. Media often portrays intense physical passion as love, creating unrealistic expectations about what love feels like. 4. The early phases look similar. Both new love and lust involve excitement, preoccupation, and idealization. Self-deception, when we fool ourselves. Be aware of these common patterns of self-deception. 1. Calling lust love to justify pursuit. We sometimes elevate our feelings to justify actions that might otherwise seem shallow or self-serving. 2. Ignoring red flags because of physical chemistry. Strong physical attraction can blind us to serious compatibility issues or character concerns. 3. Mistaking comfort for love. Sometimes we stay in relationships not out of deep love, but because they're familiar and accessible. 4. Confusing love with neediness. Dependency, fear of loneliness, or insecurity can masquerade as love, but lacks its fundamental respect and care. Practical questions to ask yourself. When trying to determine whether what you're feeling is love or lust, consider these questions. 1. Would you still want to spend time with this person if physical intimacy was temporarily impossible? 2. Do you find yourself genuinely interested in their thoughts, feelings, and experiences? 3. Are you willing to support them through difficult circumstances that offer you no immediate benefit? 4. Do you respect their right to have different opinions and make their own choices? 5. Can you imagine building a future together that includes mundane, everyday responsibilities? 6. Would you be proud to introduce them to the people who matter most to you? 7. Do you care about their happiness and fulfillment even when it doesn't directly involve you? The more yes answers, the more likely your feelings include genuine love rather than just lust. Why this distinction matters, understanding the difference between love and lust is crucial, because 1, it prevents painful mistakes. Major life decisions based on temporary physical attraction often lead to regret. 2, it helps you align relationships with your true goals. If you're seeking lasting connection but repeatedly getting caught in lustful relationships, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. 3, it allows for appropriate expectations. Both love and lust have their place, but problems arise when we expect one to be the other. 4, it impacts how you treat others. Understanding your true motivations helps you act with integrity and avoid causing unnecessary pain. Finding balance, a healthy approach recognizes that 1, both have value in context. Physical attraction is a natural human experience that doesn't need to be denied or suppressed when it's consensual and honest. 2, integration is ideal in committed relationships. The strongest romantic partnerships combine the excitement of physical desire with the depth and security of mature love. 3, self-awareness is key. Being honest with yourself about what you're feeling allows you to make choices aligned with your authentic values and goals. The ability to distinguish between love and lust isn't about judging one as superior to the other. It's about understanding your own emotions so you can make conscious choices rather than being driven by impulses you don't fully comprehend. True strength as a man comes not from denying the power of either love or lust, but from recognizing them for what they are and integrating them into a life of integrity and authentic connection. Remember that this distinction is rarely black and white. Most significant relationships contain elements of both physical attraction and deeper emotional connection. The question is whether there's enough substance beyond the physical to sustain something meaningful. If this video has helped you gain clarity about your own relationships, I invite you to take 3 important steps. First, subscribe to Strong Male Figure Sound and hit the notification bell. We tackle these complex aspects of modern masculinity every week, providing insights you won't find in mainstream discussions. Second, share your experiences in the comments below. Your perspective might be exactly what another man needs to hear right now. Our community grows stronger through honest conversation.